Did you know that the amount of shock damage your punches do was recently reduced in the patch from 15 to 12 shock damage per punch, now requiring 7 quick punches to KO a player instead of just 5. This is in stark contrast to the amount of shock damage blunt melee weapons do, allowing you to one-hit KO players with a mace or the sledgehammer heavy attack with a chest attack, whereas a shovel, baseball bat, knuckle duster and pipe wrench will KO with one heavy attack to the head. This makes headshots a great way to do extra shock damage to get that KO, which is also the case for ballistics. They do extra shock damage, but there is a drawback when it comes to shooting players in the head to try and capture them. Any projectile in DayZ that penetrates the skull of a player, which is basically all of them, will instantly kill them. As soon as that brain hitbox gets hit, that is when they get killed. So KOing a player with a chest shot is a better option if you want to keep them alive, even with rubber shells. Now, rubber shells are pretty trash at range due to their projectile speed and damage drop-off, so I'd recommend doing this within 30 meters, but any high penetration weapon will work to KO players too if you hit them in the leg at the correct angle. Due to how high penetration weapons such as these punch bullets through flesh much easier, you can do damage on the first impact here, followed by additional shock damage when it hits the second leg here, so you can hit them for double damage. This means if you get the angle right and you have a powerful enough weapon to penetrate through the fleshy hitbox of the first leg, you can one-hit KO players with any weapon that does more than 110 shock damage, and if the player is standing, they will take 20 extra shock damage because they're standing on a broken leg, which will most certainly KO them. However, the problem with KOing players with all firearms in DayZ is how quickly their shock regens when they're KO'd. If it's from ballistics, their shock will regen much faster, so only melee KOs and explosive KOs will make players go unconscious for the maximum time possible, which is 50 seconds. Now, due to the very recent changes of how claymore mines will no longer KO players at all with or without the Mike Tyson Gigapunch, this means all explosives apart from the landmine cannot KO players before they kill them outright, which if combined with a vehicle is easily the best way to KO players in DayZ. So when stepped on, the landmine will KO all players within 5 meters for 50 long seconds, regardless of how much armor they have or how high their stats are. Unfortunately though, this damage also contributes towards a skull fracture, which can insta-kill you while doing a huge 70 health damage as standard, but while in a vehicle, it does much less health damage, but it fully KOs players still for that 50 seconds. So the best way to KO and capture players in DayZ is to lure them into your vehicle and jump out of your vehicle at less than 30 kilometers per hour so you don't kill yourself, and it KOs all players inside for 50 seconds with that sneaky landmine that you placed earlier.